Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. Tonight I got two tarot card readings. We're going to go with the first initial B for these. So a couple of questions. So the first one, let's just look at these real quick. Give me just 1 second, you guys. Find this real quick. Wow, super. So we are going to... Yeah, so B's got two readings, and so we're just going to do both readings on this because it's for the same person. And so the first question is, she wants to know if she's going to have a baby with her current boyfriend. His name starts with an L. And if so, maybe get a little clarity on when that's going to be. Okay, so let's do that first. I'm going to keep the focus kind of on that, and then we'll focus in on the other question. So what I like to do, of course, is I'd like to kind of shuffle twice, just get rid of the old energy from the deck. And just kind of get a hunch, a feeling of like when it's time to kind of move on. Just kind of trust my intuition on it. Hope everybody's having a pretty good week. It's 11:19 at night. I'm here in Michigan. We're on the Eastern time zone, and here in the United States. And it is the 7th of April, 2022. So far, we've had a little bit of rain here in April. They say April showers bring May flowers, so we'll see if that's the case. All right, so now that I've just shuffled these really good, I do like to cut them one last time, though. Let me go ahead and do that. What we will do now is just kind of focus in on the question. So the question is do I see this? Do I see B having a baby with L? And if so, like maybe get some clarity as far as like when the actual time will be. So let's just focus in on that. And if you're watching this, maybe also help me just focus in on the question too. That always helps. We put our intention out there. And I think that's going to be do it. I think that's going to pretty well do it. I'm going to shuffle these, and yep, I got a good feeling about these. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so for this, it's just a 3 card. We got the okay. So this is interesting. We've got the King of Wands as the first card. Okay, so wands, they have to do with the energy and stuff. And when you get to the King, that's the last of the wands. So it's the very last one. It's a court card. It's the highest court card in the land. It's the King. King is the highest in the land. And this is pretty swift. So it's about swift action and swift decisions, things moving quite swiftly. This one here is sort of the winning at any cost card. This is the 5 of Swords. If you look at those swords down there, some of them are down where the other people just kind of surrendered and given up. And you got this person here that's just kind of collecting his winnings, or, his he's the winner. And you can see that. And 5's about change in numerology. So you get a lot of change, a lot of things happening. So we've got fast energy, fast movement. We have change. And this is also about, like, sometimes when this particular card comes up, it's about kind of winning at any cost. And so at that point, you might get what you want, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be satisfied necessarily with what you get. The outcome you get may be what you're asking for, but it may not necessarily be, what you're actually wanting. deep down inside. Finally, the last card that we have is the Hanged Man. Hanged Man is really about seeing things differently, seeing things from a different perspective. A lot of people don't really like this card just because they think the Hanged Man, we think of the hangman. It's not usually the best, the best thing that enters our mind. But this is a person that's choosing to be upside down, hung by one thing, really to be able to see things differently, to look at the world from, a different perspective, choosing to look at things differently than what others tend to look at things, and that kind of thing. So this is a 12 card, so that turns into 3. So we have a narrative here, and that narrative is just trying to zero in on this for a minute. I mean, I know the answer is we could do one more card on this. We have the Queen of Swords. Okay. The Queen of Swords is, when we talk about swords, we're thinking about conflict and things on that end. Well, she's kind of the queen of conflict, but in the same vein, the Queen of Swords is really the influencer. And she's able to get inside people's heads, thoughts, and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we've got going on here. So if you want a baby with Elle, the answer is definitely yes. You can definitely get that. The cards are definitely, on your side as far as that goes. There's something, though, that you should know, though, and that's just simply that if it's something that you try to provoke or to go after, yeah, you're going to get it, but it may not necessarily be all that you bargained for. So I can put it kind of in that perspective for you. So just be a little careful with it. Like, it may change. You may start to see things differently, and it may not necessarily be in the most positive way for you. It's not going to be bad. There's no negativity. I'm not picking up anything like that. It's just that it may not come in exactly the way that you're thinking it would come. Can you guys, have a baby together and stuff? Yeah. Can you influence that? Absolutely. Will that influence and stuff come fast? Yeah. But these two cards here, this card here is a winning at any cost. So this basically says that, yeah, you can have what you want, but when you get what you want, it may not be what you want as much as what you thought you wanted. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So things will change. The dynamic of the relationship can change. Life as you know it can change, but it may not be exactly what you think as far as the change goes. And then we have this Hanged Man here, just seeing things differently. So it just kind of says that, those two cards right there, it just basically says that, yeah, you guys could have a baby, but, and let's look and see if we can become more of a pinpointed time on that. So we've got more like, pregnant maybe in about Huh. Maybe within like a 5 month period, somewhere like that. I'm picking up the number five. It could be 5 weeks. It could be 5 months. I'm not exactly sure which. And when I say that, that's like, getting pregnant or something to do with pregnancy, finding out about the pregnancy, something along those lines. It's not exact science, so it's not like saying you're going to get pregnant exactly on this particular day and so on and so forth. But I am picking up the number five. So it's going to be something like around it's either going to be like 5 weeks out, that's a little over a month, to about 5 months out. Should you choose it, okay? Keep that part in mind. Now that we've done the tarot card reading, I mean, if you choose differently, then you'll get different, of course. I'm just randomly putting these cards back into the deck because we're going to do another reading now. And but first, I got to shuffle kind of the energy out of these, and then we'll talk about the next reading. So yeah, just be careful a little bit. B, I would say, just if you want to have a baby and stuff like that, it's not going to be bad or anything like that. I think children are great personally, but maybe just keep in mind kind of what I was saying, like what the cards are kind of revealing to you is sort of like there may be a little bit of some hiccups there. It may not be, it'll be good, but like with every gain comes a loss. It's sort of like along those lines. To get something, you have to give something up. That kind of law of the universe kind of karma stuff. So you just have to kind of be a little bit conscientious, so kind of really self-examine what it is you truly, honestly, really do super want. And if you got like dreams on the back burner or something like that, having a baby, they might really get, I'm not saying permanently put on the back burner, but you may have to wait to get kind of some of the other things in life maybe you're actually wanting. So just kind of have a plan is, I guess, a good way of putting it. That's kind of what I would say. So look at this situation a little bit differently and just kind of see what you can come up with. Okay, we're pretty much done shuffling these. And we will move on to the next question. So next question is, so B's next question has to do with her daughter. Wants to know if I see her dating and marrying a future NFL player named, and we'll just say that the future NFL's player's name starts with a D, okay? So let's find out if her daughter, whose name starts with a J, is going to marry a future NFL player named D. So, okay, yeah, let's find out. It's kind of exciting. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever done a tarot card reading exactly with this type of question precisely like this. It's interesting, though. Had some really cool questions I've been asked over the years. But this is completely different. Okay, I'm feeling like we should stop now and just kind of get into it. So let's see, 3 cards. Okay, so yeah, this is really cool. Let me click back over here. Okay, so the first card that we have here is the 3 of Wands. And we said Wands about energy, 3's the narrative of the energy. So it's a story of action, taking action, being proactive, doing things on that, and looking out on the horizon. You see this person looking out on the horizon, and they're creating something here, creating some kind of a narrative, a story, something like that. Next, we have the 2 of Swords. 2's usually about partnerships and that kind of thing. It's also about duality. So, it's like good and bad, pros and cons, agreement, disagreement, moon, sun, devil, God. I mean, you have those polarities, good versus evil, and so on and so forth. So in this particular thing, we see that this person here is blindfolded. So it's choosing not to see things, see reality exactly for what it is, having our hopes, our ambitions, our dreams, and things kind of, set inside our mind. Um, we have the moon back there. It's very hypnotizing. It's kind of energy where we can kind of get inside of our mind a little bit. So we have the narrative. It's getting inside our mind. So we kind of see a little picture kind of unraveling here. And the last card is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is about new energy. Cup overfloweth. It's also kind of a wish card on many fronts, because it's about a new relationship. A new relationship, something coming about, presenting itself. Aces are all about like newness, new things coming, like it's the first in a series, that kind of thing. And the dove, of course, is something spiritual, that type of thing. So what have we got here? Well, we're picking up a new relationship. Something new is coming about. Not exactly sure. But your daughter kind of has the blinders on. She's in her mind. She's got kind of she's thinking about things. This is kind of like, and like what you think about, you bring about, kind of the law of attraction thing. Totally valid. I mean, it's just like with anything. If you want to get a good job, what do? You have to take a little bit of action, of course. That's where this card comes in, the Three of Wands. But once you take that action, you first have to make the decision kind of inside your mind. Okay, this is really what I want to go after. This is the kind of career I want to go after. This is the steps I need to take to get there. All I got to do is just kind of follow the steps, and I should be able to get what I want, right? That's kind of where your daughter's thinking is a little bit like, as far as this narrative inside of her mind. You got the 3 and the 2. Those are two numbers that are sort of, they have their opposing sides to them. Anytime you have two numbers backed up against each other, like 6 and 9, for example, or 1 and 2, or 3, or in this case, 2 and 3, you get some of that kind of energy that goes on. We have, looking out there for something, and then also just kind of having like the blinders on, like not really being able to see everything in front of us. And then we have the cup, something new, something coming about. So is it possible? Yeah, it's definitely possible. There's no denying that. But what we have here is sort of like this mind thing. It's more like in the mind than anything. But a new relationship, I do see a new relationship happening, coming about, or presenting itself like in the here and now. If we want to take this one step further, we draw another card. I'm just going to go ahead and pull one randomly from the deck. Yeah, okay. We have whoops. We can hold the cards. We have the Queen of Wands. So it's influence, and being able to have an influence or power over something. So, I'm sure if people see this, they might be thinking to themselves, oh yeah, there's no way that's ever going to happen. This, that, and the other, this person's just kind of got blinders on. They're, rose-colored glasses, fantasy, this, that, and the other. But the real reality is, and I can't deny this, what the cards are actually telling me. Probably wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes here, and probably you guys wouldn't either. But when you have these cards, like what she's got here, you got somebody that inside their mind, we have the 2, which is relationships. It's kind of a little blind to the situation. But what we do have is we have a new relationship entering the picture. You've got your daughter and stuff like that, kind of looking out there, for something and all, trying to create some kind of a life for herself, that kind of thing. We do see that. And then finally, we have the Queen of Wands, which is really that influence. It's taking action and getting out there and making it happen. And I see that your daughter has that ability. And so because of that, with these other cards, I'm saying that, yeah, it's quite possible that she could definitely get in a relationship with a future NFL player whose name starts with a D. And it could definitely, manifest itself or materialize based on these cards. I'm just giving you what it is. The only thing is that, again, the cautionary tale here is just, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the situation, at present, but, something's definitely going to materialize. Not a bad reading, actually. I'm picking up a lot of positive energy from it. That Ace of Cups is a good card. It's something brand new. The cup overfloweth, like a lot of things, like, it's kind of like prime, kind of like the cream of the crop, so to speak, being able to get what you want. So yeah, so good luck to her. That's the only cup one, which is about new relationships. The rest, we have a little bit of stuff in the mind, but just kind of being blind to it, and sometimes you need that, like sometimes it's good to have your dreams, and everybody in the world might be saying, oh, this will never happen. But if you have it in your mind and you believe it, anything is possible. There's no denying that. I've seen some, especially reading tarot for people and stuff, I've seen situations, and I've given readings before where the conscious part of me, like the normal part of me, like if I was a betting person or playing the odds, the person had the odds completely stacked against them consciously, in this conscious material world. But the card said differently, and sure enough, the cards are right. So, excuse me, guys. So that's pretty much it. So as far as your daughter's situation goes, that can be a yes. If she chooses for it to be, definitely a new relationship. Not exactly 100% sure if it's going to be the NFL player's name who starts with a D, but definitely a new relationship, and definitely wielding some influence over that relationship. The power of bringing it into being, to materialize itself. So that's definitely there. And then also with your situation, the baby thing and all, yeah, just kind of keep in mind that number 5. So it's possible, but like I said, be careful. It doesn't have to materialize itself if you choose not to at this time. But if you're really, really wanting it, and it's just, and better than I do, really what's at the heart of the matter and what you really want to do with it, then, I'd say probably about 5 weeks to 5 months, somewhere in that ballpark. So if you just kind of plan for that, you could look to see that kind of thing start to materialize or happen. And I hope that you guys have a really great life together and everything. I do got a lot of positivity kind of in that direction for you. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it for Indirect Knowledge tonight. And yep, it's time for this monk to get a little rest. Got a big, busy day ahead of me tomorrow. It's Friday, big service day, a lot of work. So that's what I'm going to be up to. If you guys need anything, though, I'm always here for you. Just please reach out. Anyways, much love, many blessings. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. Oh, and if you haven't already checked us out, check us out. I've got my little page up. It's not super fancy or anything, but it's just indirectknowledge.com. I've got some courses on there if you're interested in learning tarot and stuff. Maybe pick up a little, side gig or, full-time income or whatever if you wanted. I've got a course that I put together out there and stuff for you guys. If you want to check it out, you can. But other than that, yeah, love you. See you guys soon. Next episode.